I was in Chennai, he was in US at that point of time. So it cold called around some 70 to 80 professors. One of the professors was from IIT Madras, Professor Satya Chakravarthy. And my cousins were also along with me for that meeting. Generally, whenever we go for these meetings, it's like maximum 5 to 10 minutes, but with a lot of advice and yarn. That's the general things that used to happen. But this meeting, I was also going into that same emotions, like, yeah, professor will talk to us, because this was around our 80th call or something like that. And luckily, this was an in-person meeting for me. Srinath was on the call, on the Zoom call. Skype. Tell me the Skype. Sorry, on the Skype. So I just went and I told my cousins, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm just going to hear another no and come back. I think that conversation lasted for nearly around 1.5 hours. So I think 90 minutes of like questions that we had not anticipated, questions that we were like, expecting things somebody would ask us. There were these questions we were wanting to answer, but these questions were never asked. I think Professor Satya started asking those questions, and I think he was jumping in the seat from Skype and answering all of those things, and I was answering in person. And when I came back, my cousins were just staring at me. You said 5 minutes, and you're like 85 minutes late already. But that one conversation changed everything, I think, for us.
And I think that conversation it convinced you, Srinath, to leave everything. Srinath, by the way, was working for AIG as a treasury manager. So making good big bucks in New York, and not following passion, but maybe a lot of money. But you left everything. I remember, and you just moved lock, stock, barrel. What was it? Moin was really good at convincing, or what was it?
No, I think I was so I started my finance journey in 2009, right at the time when S&P 500 started going upward. I remember the day, I think March 2009 was when it hit its low, 600 something, and then it started going up. So that was the New York I knew. And so the whole thing, when I went from here, this was the first time I was going to the US for studying a financial engineering program. It was this image of New York I had and what I saw were 100% different. Literally a completely different place. So it also gave me a bit of a reality check. So from the very beginning, I was like, actually, I should just follow my heart. I was seeing a lot of struggle. People were trying so hard to save jobs. It was a bad time to be in the finance, right? So it also gave me a reality check on, is this really what I want to do? And that got me into the next 7 years of thinking about how to get into space tech. In between, I also did some film school. That's a different story. But that is what was, keeping me there. So for me and Moin, it was like we had pitched so many times to professors that all it took was one professor to give a half nod. But actually, it so happened that he was proposing 3 different rocket ideas, and we were proposing actually the simpler ones. So for us, it was like, this is the side from the universe. We have to jump in. So at that moment, it was just like, wow, finally someone is actually wanting to build this with us. So, okay, let's go.